Hello, it's Jason Payne for Coldwell Banker D&R Realtors. Well, today I'm back in the community of Belle Oaks and Bulverde, Texas, because I have a client that's not from the area that's been builder shopping, community shopping, and lot shopping. Well, it looks like we've knocked down the builder and the community, so now we're off lot shopping. So we're going to be doing multiple lot tours in the community of Belle Oaks for lots that I think might be a good fit for him, and then I'll let him decide. All right, let's go ahead and start the first lot tour. All right, the first lot we're going to be looking at today, the address is 692 Travis Forest. Let's give an idea about what that lot looks like. Hopefully my GoPro's picking that up. But the pros to this lot is it's over 1 acre, it's 1.55. The seller's asking $249K for it. It's been on market for a while, so I think there might be a little wiggle room in that. But one of the other big pluses is it's got a great build site for it. Negatives are you're going to have the power lines kind of in your view, and it's not the ideal spot for the sun because west is right over that direction. What we're walking down right now would be the ideal spot for the driveway. You got some beautiful oak tree clusters on this side. I'm going back to my military days. And we got a nice little bunch of oak trees on that side. But yeah, this will be really nice and easy to put a flat driveway in, but a really nice little drive coming back here. The lot lines for visual reference. If you see the little gravel road there, that kind of goes down one side of the lot line, and the other side is back on the other side of this oak tree cluster. All right, coming up, this is kind of what I would think would be the ideal build site. If you wanted to pull the house up a little further, you can get rid of these few trees here. We got some small oak trees. This could be your view from the front, which is really nice view looking out here. It's really nice frontward view. And this would be, let me go back to where the approximation of what the back side of the house would look like. This could be kind of your view from the back. There we go. That's probably more realistic. Like I said, you are going to have the telephone things back there, but you do have a nice view overlooking the whole region. The lot right next door, you do have a fence here. That's a 25-acre lot that does not belong to Belle Oaks. So very little chance you're going to have somebody next to you in this back space. But this would be your backyard area. Still enough room to put a pool in before it starts kind of sloping down. Let's check where we are on the map. All right, here we are on the map right there, kind of center back of it. So you do have a little fence line running down one side of the perimeter, and it goes all the way down to the bottom corner. There's a little fence line. But you can see you got a pretty nice view looking out the back. And that's one of the criteria for my clients is he really wants a view lot with a relatively flat space to build on. And this definitely checks that box off. Going back over to the other side of this lot. Like I said, this little maintenance road here is a good reference of the boundary. So you got some more oak trees back this way. And you can almost see the little maintenance road curving down, and that's where this lot location ends. So yeah, all in all, a really nice, easy to build on lot. Price can probably be negotiated because yeah, they're wanting $249 for it. It's been on the market for quite a while. So we'll have to look on that if this is a good lot for you. Mentioning again, the power lines, well, they're not going anywhere. So you do have those in the view. But as far as ease to build, no extra cost for having a really sloped foundation. This really does hit a home run for that. So yeah, this could easily be your backyard your home up here or backyard with a pool setting right in this space overlooking that green space area, and this could be your build site as well. But I do like these oak trees up front. You could always plant a few more trees in that back corner there if you wanted to as well. All right, let's see where that driveway entrance is. There it is. But yeah, some beautiful oak trees here. These are all on the property. Property line goes right on the other side of those oak trees. All right. But yeah, it'd be nice having this kind of right in front of the house. Really cool. All right, heading back up to motorcycle and on to the next lot. All right, the next lot we're looking at is 633 Travis Forest. This is on a cul-de-sac. It's on kind of opposite side of Travis Forest in the first lot. But you can tell you got some epic views out the side. And you're gonna have to use your little imagination a little bit to see the views from the back side. The property line's kind of where the electrical box is and my motorcycle, and then kind of splitting the cul-de-sac area here. So this is gonna be, all of this would be your front yard, and then what we're looking at right now would be kind of center of the lot. Here we are right now. So hopefully you can see that. All right, going up, you do have a nice build site right up front, but you're not gonna be able to pull back crazy super far because that's where it starts to slope at. But let's walk kind of over here to the corner of this lot, or the edge, not really the corner. All right, so I want to show you where that ridge line, where it does start to drop off at. All right, these trees here are a good representation of the edge of the lot. So here's the edge of where the ideal build site would be. This stays flat a little bit further as you're facing it, the right-hand side of the lot. But if you did build on it, and if this was a backside, you can see kind of where it starts to slope. It's not a crazy dramatic slope, but it does switch from flat to not flat. Hopefully you can see that in my GoPro there, where it starts to curve down. Now we have a whole bunch of underbrush back here that could get cleared out to create that epic view my client's looking for. Let's go to a clear spot over here. This would be kind of directly parallel to the front, so you can see where you might have some extra concrete on this back corner here. But this isn't so bad if you did like a pool, want to do some steps going down here, and then your pool in this space back over here. That's not a bad way to go because it does drop a little further off up there. And that will create a really cool view once you cleared out some of the trees. All right, you can see there's the sign that was kind of in the middle of the lot. There's the fire hydrant for one side, and this little drainage here kind of reflects the property line on the other side. But what you're seeing out here can show what this view would look like. So they've got this all cleared out. Well, that's what your view is going to be once you clear all this mess out here. Definitely leave the oak trees, but there's a lot of cedar and underbrush in here. But by clearing that out, you could have this as your view. This little drainage thing represents the property line for the other side of 633. So you can see you've got a pretty good spot up here to build on, especially if you wanted to pull it up a little further. Then you could have all this as your backyard, but definitely clearing out a lot of this underbrush changes everything dramatically with this lot. The lot's listed at 210, hasn't been on the market all that long, but I'd always ask for a little bit less. But yeah, this would be the view. Property line kind of ends where the drainage ditch area kind of ends, and then just kind of cuts straight across. So this is not going to be the crazy deep lot, but it is going to be a pretty wide lot. So that means once you clear all this out, it's like, yeah, this would be your view, kind of your view. It's hard to tell from over here. Let me walk over to this other lot, kind of show you what's behind that lot. They are building a house, but it won't be directly behind you. There we go. You can see you would have that beautiful, that's the back house that's faced on the road, that's at the intersection, that's just up over here. So there will be nothing directly behind you, which is really nice. But yeah, a lot of brush that can be cleared out that can really transform this lot. You can see, like I said, there's the slope, and then we get back up to the flat spot up here. Let's head on over that way. All right. This is the property line right here. This little community, this drainage from the hilltop. We are at one of the higher points in the community, so definitely no worry about flooding up here. All right, back to the flat-ish build site. And it goes all the way up to the road. All right, this lot definitely has some potential. The sun sets over that way, so the sun will be coming across your house, not behind it. But yeah, clearing out some of this mess would really transform what this lot would look like. Alrighty, on to the next lot. Might need to give me some more water. It's pretty darn hot out here. But yeah, remember there's the front, and the fire hydrant's the other front point. All right, we're still on 633 Travis. I just wanted to point something out. Remember the views on here, and seeing this other house that's being built opposite of the cul-de-sac. There, you can tell just where they are as in relation to the front of the road. This might be a lot of what you would have to do for that lot there to be able to capitalize on the views and the flatter space. So you can see they're not crazy far off the road at all. And if you did the same thing on this lot, it's definitely possible to do. Okay, this time for real, we're getting back on the motorcycle and on to the next lot. All right, lot number 3, we are on 669 Travis Forest. I wanted to start these videos off on this Travis Forest place because I know this has amazing views on it. And this lot, they're already gonna have houses on both sides of it. This nice Spanish style house. Property line is gonna be kind of where that fire extinguisher is at right there. And up to close to where their property line is. Here's what the lot looks like. It's kind of an irregular shaped lot, and I'm pretty darn sure I videoed this lot when phase 9 very first opened up, because I remember walking down that side there. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and walk down that side. Well, let's see if I can get through here a little bit. It's gonna be hard to walk all the way to the back part of this property because it is rather dense as far as the underbrush. So all of this stuff here can get cleared out. Leave that oak tree showing back there. Let's find a good route through here. And of course, there's not a good route through here. All right. Coming through, all of this is relatively flat. Your view would come once you cleared a lot more of that crap out. Got some nice oak trees in the back there. This house I think will be up a little bit higher, but you can tell this is still relatively flat. They have quite a bit of foundation in the back there, and they brought the dirt up because I think they wanted to keep this house pretty high to capitalize on the views. So I want to use this as an example. I'm gonna do 2. All right, I think my GoPro is getting a little bit overheated, and so am I. So let me redo this because my GoPro died. But this will kind of be your view from if you kept everything flat like it is here. Clearing out underbrush, you definitely will be able to have a better view through the trees, or you could be like these guys did. They wanted to have a view from their patio without clearing out the underbrush, so they just built everything up, giving you a really epic view out the back. So that's really cool. So it doesn't take much to get above the underbrush, but man, if you had somebody come through and clear out all of this mess and leaving just the oak trees, this would be a really nice viewed lot. All right, we're going back down the edge of this property line. I'm probably not gonna be able to get too far into here before it just kind of falls off a cliff. But I will try to get as much as I can. Well, I don't think it's gonna fall off a cliff too much. But yeah, you can tell we got some nice oak trees in the back. But a lot of this is just garbage that needs to be cleared out. There's not a bad looking cedar tree. Let's see where we are on the property lines. Okay, here we are. We are right on the edge of the property line going down. So what you're seeing here would be the property. All right. And it looks like we got a nice little trail going down, but see, there's just a bunch of crap that you can get in there. Remember, this is the most expensive lot on the trip. They're asking $250 for it. And now we're coming down. There's a big, beautiful cedar tree there. But cedar trees, nobody has a problem cutting down cedar trees because they just suck up a bunch of water, and you really want to protect the oaks as much as possible. So you see the rough bark, that's a cedar, and these are little oak trees right here. All right, you don't see all the crap I'm stepping on, but all right, coming down, I believe to the edge, back corner of this property, and then we'll walk up the other edge. There's the property stick right down there. So there's the ribbon marking the end of this. It's hard to really see anything here. But this isn't gonna have like a dramatic fall off the cliff view. It's just a view. This is road, the little maintenance road. This will represent the other side of the property line. So you can see it's not a steep drop off. I got the thing level and it just goes up maybe 5 or 6 feet. So yeah, now we are currently walking up this edge of the property line. Here we are right here. All right, and I can kind of show you what the house neighbors looks like. There's your property line marker right there. This is just a maintenance road. But you can tell it's a gradual slope, not a fall off the cliff slope. But getting rid of the oak trees, the cedar trees, could turn your property into looking more like this, which is not a bad thing having in the back of your yard. It looks like they cleared out all the cedars, left the oak trees, but here we got a lot of cedar and juniper in there. All right, looks like the crew that built a lot of this house dumped some of their tile work over here. All right, still on the property line. This is just the easiest way to walk back up. Another nice oak tree that will be on the border of the property line. It is on this property, but you can see they kind of built it where it's pretty level in the back. So I do like this lot. I liked it 2 or 3 years ago when this place first opened up. And now we're coming back up to the really flat part up front. So once again, this would be a pretty easy thing to build on. There's my motorcycle, there's the fire hydrant, but you could easily build on this side, and clearing up all the crap underneath would make it really nice. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. go talk to a builder, get a little more water in me, and cool off, because yeah, it is pretty darn hot out here today. And you're only seeing what I'm filming. I walked these lots also before filming. All right, next lot coming up. All right, now we're on our lot number 4. This is going to be 553 Rosemary Ridge. We are another high point in the community. This is just off a cul-de-sac. If you can see there's the cul-de-sac. Well, okay, not a full cul-de-sac, kind of a little partial cul-de-sac up here, because it does go down this road a little bit. Sun faces west. It's on this side of the street. Some beautiful homes already built up here, but the sun, that means it sets on the front of the house if you get this lot, giving yourself plenty of shade on your backyard during happy hour time. All right, property line is kind of where my motorcycle is there, and you can kind of see the little blue electrical boxes over here. So it's not going to be the widest of wide lots. This is just over 1 acre, but it does go further back. It all depends on what you want to put on here. This is a big, beautiful house, but not a lot of big giant oak trees right up front. It all depends on what you're looking for, but I do like the fact. Oh, and this has only been on the market as I'm filming it for 5 days. So when I'm making my selections of which lots to choose, my client wanted me to help narrow it down. So some of these lots that have been on the market for like 2 years. For sake of efficiency, I'm not trying to look at everything. So I'm looking for stuff that's only been on the market for a couple of months. But this one's only been on the market for 5 days. So, and it's nicely priced. Okay, I didn't pre-walk this lot, so I'm kind of walking this as I go. But this front part is all relatively flat, kind of boring. But the back part does start to slope down. I do see a ridge up here. We're having a little drop down right where we're at. Pull up my phone so I can show you exactly where we are at. All right, here where we are. Here's where we're at on the map right now. So it's still all this space over here, and I'm getting kind of close to the property line over here to my right. So there's the property line going back up to the street. This is the lot itself. We're starting to slope a little bit, but that makes it an easy spot to put a pool. You can see the next door neighbors, they got a big 2-story house, really capturing the view. But walking down the property line, this whole lot stays pretty flat until we get some nice little, I call them like baby oaks back here. Until we get to, I'm going to show you on the map here since I get to this little ridge. Until we get to this spot on the map. That's where it starts to really kind of slope down a bit, and it goes that way the whole way coming back here. Let me get back to where we can see the view. This is the view out the back, so it's a really nice view lot, especially if you get rid of some of these little junipers here. Keep this oak tree. It's an okay looking oak tree, but you do have some other oak trees here that if you cleaned up the underbrush, under parts here, it would really keep opening up this view. But you can tell this is the lot in front of us. It is relatively flat if you wanted to make this your build site. Plenty of room for a pool. Clean this little mini oak tree things up to really accentuate it. Maybe put some lights on there. And then you can keep this drop off here natural, kind of cleaning this up a little bit because we still got more space going back here some. We're almost to the back part of the property line where we're at right here, and then it's going to keep going a little bit further. All right, it's a weird shaped lot. Looks like it property line cuts off kind of in front of us. And then we'll keep going back this direction. Once again, it's all nice and flat. I just noticed they got a little rope making it easy for us. Ain't that nice of them? Okay, so we're on the edge of the property line. Maybe the previous owners did this little rope so they could really tell where the property line's at. And yeah, now we are at the back corner of the property line. Guess what? There's a little stake right there. And it goes up this direction, just following the rope. So you do get a little, if you did pull the trigger on this lot, you do get this little bonus section down here. You can see the ridge where we came down from. This little area here, just a bunch of scrub brushes. Nothing fancy at all, but it's yours. You can do with what you want to with. It just extends down a little bit further. And then comes up here and kind of would hit back of their fence. And they don't really want big privacy fences, but you can see they got some beautiful fences there. All right, coming back up. Like I said, nice little slopey slope coming down here into this little bonus scrub area. I don't know what you would do with that, but let's go ahead and walk back up, showcase the main part of this lot. Some neat little oak trees there. Like I said, there's that little cluster of oak trees and other ones. Like I said, just cleaning this up can make this a really cool looking spot. And it doesn't hurt having this big, beautiful house next to you. Some other little bitty young oak trees. And this is a whole main portion of the lot itself. So if you use this house as its model, you can see they've really cleaned up their backyard, made it beautiful. Got a cool pool, nice view spot from up top there. You could definitely do the same with this lot. Let's see, show that view off again, because there's not too much to look at up front. Let me get to where you can see a view through the scrub brushes. So like I mentioned a couple of times now, clean these trees up so it opens up your view. Wouldn't get rid of them, just kind of clean them up some. But then you have a nice view out the back, and cleaning up some of this other stuff here really opens up the view. That's where the sun's going to be rising at in the morning and setting on the front, giving you that shady spot for happy hour. So I do like this lot. It's not going to be the craziest, widest of lot. If my client wants to get more information on this, I can definitely get the survey. Probably identical with it if you look at the back spot for how high the foundation would be on the back. Looks like about 5 feet. Not crazy, but it is definitely a slope from the front to the back, but not a crazy big slope. We're not falling off the cliff or anything. So it all depends on what you want to do. All right, this would be, in my opinion, the best place to build, kind of right up front here to help mitigate kind of some of the slope. They pulled theirs back a little bit, but it all depends on what you want to do. All right, on to the next one. All right, lot number 5 for the day. We're gonna look at 34731 Deanne Valley. This is 1.5 acre lot on a cul-de-sac here. Relatively flat. You do have some nice views out the back of it. Property line's gonna go kind of where you see the little rock trail is in front of that house, kind of splitting the end of this little cul-de-sac here, up to the electrical box over on this side. So pretty wide lot, especially if you get a little further back into it. Here's what we are looking at. So I'm kind of right in the center of this lot now, going back. There is a downside to it. That is west right in front of us, meaning the sun will be setting directly on the back of your house. You do have a nice little slope going down the front here before it levels out. Not that big of a deal. You just have a little slope in your driveway going down, a little dippy dip. And then you have, this is relatively flat in this space right here. Let's see, make sure I'm still on the path. I am walking kind of right in the middle of this lot here. So yeah, this would be a pretty easy build space. This was your front yard. You can see the dip we just walked down, and a nice quiet part of the community. We're kind of at the front end spot of phase 9. As we dip down up here, there is another 1 acre lot home that would back up to it, and then we get into at least the earlier phases of Belle Oaks. But once we're past the front dip, oh, this is also the least expensive lot we were looking at today. We're looking at $185 is what the asking price is, and I think this has been on the market for about 3 maybe 4 months now. So not a crazy long time when you're looking at lots that are for sale, and definitely a nice price. But your view is going to be, you got a really nice view if you're at the very front, but as this slopes down, I'm going to keep walking back here to see if I can find a spot where I can see through these trees. It's just a little gradual slope going down this direction. And it looks like we might be crawling through some woods to get to the back part. All right, where are we at? All right, this is where we're at. We're kind of halfway down. We're a little past the halfway mark. Almost in the center base of the property, but we're getting into this super thick thicket that I am not going to be able to crawl my way through. But it looks like they cleared, well, maybe they haven't cleared. This just isn't a heavily wooded property right up front. But I'm sure if you did clear all of this, it'd be a pretty nice view, but I don't know how I could show that to you. Trying to see if I can find a little way to crawl through. All right, let me see if I can find some spot. I know there's a little service maintenance road that this place backs up to. All right, might be clearer going that way. Sorry, this is great camera work here. I'm sorry if this video is taking forever, but I'm trying to get you as much information as possible. All right, that was dead anyway, don't worry about it. All right, best thing to do might be to walk down the other person's property line. Let me pause for a second. All right, I have pushed through that mess. I mean, what other realtor is going to be doing all this for you to get their client information on a lot? I haven't seen any other realtors doing this yet. All right. Neighbors got their stuff all fenced off real pretty. All right, here's the path I was looking for. And looks like there's not as big as drop off as I was hoping, because here's the little maintenance road representing the back part of this property, and I'm not seeing a view except for the very, very front of this property. Okay, let me head back up front and see what I can see. All right, I made my way back up to the front. Looks like the only way this would be a view lot is if you had a 2-story home, kind of like what the guys next door building, so you can look over these trees and over the house next to you. But the only best view is if we went up the 10 feet or so little ridge that's at the front of the property. But once you get that extra 10 feet up, you have an epic view. So if you wanted to build a house with a observation patio overlooking everything, this wouldn't be a bad spot. But from the first floor, I don't think you're gonna see a whole lot of view except for the trees behind you. So I'm getting back up to where you can actually see over the trees, which is about 10 feet, which is ideal for the second floor. But the second floor will have this view we're looking at right now. All right, after that 5th lot tour, I completely brain farted and I forgot to do my wrap up. So here we are in my home office. And you know what? If you're still watching this video of this bald-headed realtor that crawls to the woods to get all that information for their client, you know what? I appreciate you. My heartfelt thanks goes out to you guys for watching me. This video, they might be boring, but they do provide amazing information for my client to make the decision on which lot to choose to build his dream home. And if you're considering moving to the Texas Hill Country area and you want a real estate agent that doesn't mind getting a little dirty and crawling through those woods, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information will be on the very final screen. I'll be happy to help. Text is always the best way to go. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, but most importantly, share these videos with your friends and family, especially if they're moving to the Texas Hill Country. All right, take care now. Thanks for watching. Bye.